here to transform our world, the power of love in action. And love in action is just being love in the world. Aha! And as prayer always does, it works. We're grateful to have you back with us. Thank you so much. Thanks for hanging in there. We are live now, online as well as here in the room. So as always, we're grateful for everybody that's working hard. I guess we should say a special thank you right now to our tech team who just ran us through that little glitch. Thank you. Thank you to the sound and the musicians and to the bookstore. And I want to mention our practitioners who are doing special things today. We have holding high watch for us. We have Lisa Kerr in the room, and we have Alicia Hanlon out in the interwebs, and we have Nancy Bowers, who will lead us in prayer, and Marilyn O'Leary, who you've already met for a moment, but she'll bring us our vision and mission statement and our reading today. So, with that, I would love to invite us to take a moment and be in prayer together.
So I breathe into this sacred moment, and I pause to remember the truth of who and what I am. I remember that I am the divine expressing, that I am here to allow God to work through me, to extend love into the world, to know the peace that is always here, even when I don't seem to be witnessing it. And in this moment, as I breathe into the preciousness of now, remember that the sacred is always present. And on this holy day, I call forth that remembrance in each and every person I encounter, knowing that the truth of who we all are is that divine expressing, that we are here to remember who we are, to extend that love, to see the truth in each other, knowing that it's perfect just as it is, and that I never need to make God wrong. For this moment, it is. And the moment I open my eyes to the glory that God is presenting me with, I know that it's all in divine right order. And that everything that needs to happen is happening right here, right now, forever. And that I can take that in and allow myself to see the blessings that are being bestowed upon me. And so in this time together, I affirm for each of us that we remember that truth of who and what we are, that we see it in one another, that we remember that when we are not seeing it, that it's just a call for love, and that since I see it, I have the opportunity to extend it and to be what God would have me be, to be the power of love in action. And so I affirm for our time together that this time provides for each person listening just what it is that they need for their souls, that their ears are open to hearing the message that comes through Reverend Gill today, that they remember that everyone around you is here to support you, to provide you with the opportunity to extend love over and over and over as we reaffirm the truth of who we are in this world and bring it out in one another. And so I proclaim that this time together is perfect just as it is. And I add, just as a little side note, that everyone here remembers the truth of our tiny Miguel, that we remember that anything that seems to be happening to him is happening for him. And that we are here to remember that truth and to bring him back to the appearance of health. Bert never really left him. And that is true of all of us. That which we seem to be lacking is always ours for the claiming. The moment we open up, do what God would have us do. And so I affirm that this time together is good and very good and perfect just as it is. And I let go of this prayer by saying, and so it is. Amen.
And so as, excuse me, as Nancy has so eloquently stated the truth of who we are, I just this moment to remind us why that's true and what that's about. And there's 4 basic things in New Thought or Science of Mind that we can kind of look at and help us grasp onto what the truth is. The first one is that there's only one power, which is how Nancy can proclaim that it's all good and it's all happening and it's already here. And we know that our thought about things and our thought around things and our emphasis in our heads about certain things makes a difference. It creates our situation. So it's a good idea when you notice something going sideways, start turning it back gently. Turn it back gently. We also know that there is only love. It's a call for love, or it is love. That's it. No exceptions. And finally, we're all whole, perfect, and complete. So there is no healing to be created. There is only health to be revealed. So we know that truth. And as you stated for little Miguel, and I'm thinking of Reverend Kamatara and anyone else that may be in that situation, we just hold that space for them. And so, thank you for being here. I want to welcome everybody. Everybody online, thank you so much. If you are here with us, we haven't met you before, please go to the website and let us know you're here. There's a form you can fill out that says hello. Do that. That would be great. We'd love to hear from you. And if you're here in the room with us today, anybody here for the second time today? Aha, we have some second timers back there. These are the brave folks. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here. Anybody here with us the first time? Feels comfortable saying they're here for the first time? Oh, there we go. All right. Thank you so much for being here. So what we'd like to do is offer a blessing both to anyone who's new and relatively new and to all of us. So we're going to rub our hands together, receive this blessing. Hold our hands out. We see who you are. We know you're a perfect emanation of Spirit. We love you. We appreciate you. And we thank God for you. Welcome to Rio Grande. John. So I will now hand us over to the able and willing Marilyn.
Thank you. And we are going to do our mission, our vision and mission statement. Comes up. I hope so, because I don't have it in front of me. Let's see. I have it. Here we go. Thank you. Thank you. I mean, you would think I would know this, wouldn't you? Here we go. Patience. Vision. Our vision, transforming our world with the power of love in action. And our mission, loving all creation through spiritual growth and service, always staying true to our highest self. And I have a reading which I think was sent to me by the same spirit that was talking to Nancy this morning. So Isn't that interesting? It's all the same. This is in this thing called You by Ernest Holmes, one of my favorite books that he's written. God is not only where you are, he is what you are. In a sense, you might say, since God is all there is, the only presence there is, and since the Spirit is manifest through everything, then everything I see is a manifestation of God. That within me, which enables me to see, know, and understand this, also is God. Since God does not go and search after himself, I need no longer to search after him. Rather, I shall now live and think from the union which I already have. Say, and here's the prayer that Ernest writes, there is that within me which knows I am not only one with this power is actually flowing through me now. I am not only unified with the divine presence around me, this presence is my presence. It is the presence of my real and true self. I am it is rather to become aware of this presence and of its activity flowing through you. Thank you. Now we have some music. We have music with Susan. More music. Yeah.
Thank you, Marilyn. How's everybody doing? Yeah. Alrighty now. Okay. It's kind of Jamie Lula Day here at Rio Grande. I'm going to do a song of his right now. This is called Better Than I Was Before. Mistakes that I'd made, thought that I had done it wrong, thought I'd never make a difference, thought I wasn't worth a song. When I think I can't, I haven't what I think I will become. I will hold myself in reverence. Where I end up is where I belong. 'Cause I'm better than I was before. Because I've walked through walls and doors. Better cause I've fallen down. Oh, I'm better than before. And I'm glad I stuck around. Oh yeah, glad I stuck around. Thoughts are things I'm in control of. Thoughts can turn my head around. Thought I'd break this to you easy. It's not harder than it sounds. When I think I can't, I haven't. When I think I will become, I will hold myself in reverence. Where I end up, that's right where I belong. 'Cause I'm better than I was before. Yeah, you can sing. Better 'cause I've walked through walls and doors. Better 'cause I've fallen down. Oh, I'm better than before. And I'm glad I stuck around. Oh yeah. My rationale ended all. I was tempted to give up. Mindless mediocrity, your judgment of my junk. Thoughts abandoned, it was a lie. I had to change my thoughts. And urgency grew deep and free of a kinder, sweeter love. Oh, better than I was before. Better 'cause I've walked through walls and doors. Better 'cause I've fallen down. walk through walls and doors. Better 'cause I've fallen down. Oh, I'm better than before. And I'm glad I stuck around. Oh yeah, glad I stuck around. Ooh. Thank you, John.
All right, turn to your neighbor. Tell them I'm better than I was before. Now turn to somebody else and say, I'm really glad you stuck around. Really glad you stuck around. Indeed. Thank you so much for that.
I'm glad you all stuck around.
That's right. We're glad you folks online stuck around as well, because I know it was a little glitchy there first, so thank you so much. Okay. Bear with me momentarily while I do what I should have done before I came up here. And that's find all those lovely notes I wrote last night. Dang, here it is. There it is. Okay, one more moment. Okay. That's right. That's what it was. Sure, I'll blame it on that. It's all Marilyn's fault. Here we go. Oh my gosh. Thank God everything is so organized. There we go. All right. So, how fitting it is that I've had such a vulnerable moment just now. So, today's topic is about vulnerability and vulnerable, not me. Do you ever feel that way? Yeah, no, not going there. Well, I'd like to talk a little bit about vulnerability and what it triggers in us and where it comes from in terms of the word. First of all, I looked up the meaning of vulnerable, and you know what? It says weak. It says unguarded. It says open to attack. It says, it's used in military when you have troops in a position of vulnerability. When you set yourself up in some situation where you're vulnerable to something happening to you that's not as positive as you'd like it to be, that's vulnerability. So I realized we have a really good reason to think that being vulnerable isn't good. Because it's scary, and it creates the possibility of being hurt somehow. And who in here likes to be hurt? That's what I thought. Okay. Except for Mike in the corner. We won't go into that deeply right now. We don't, that's not what we're here for. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to feel that someone doesn't like us, or someone doesn't accept us, or we've been booted from a group, or whatever that thing is. It creates a lot of discomfort. And interestingly, the origin of the word is a word in Latin that means wound. Interesting, huh? Interesting. So nobody really wants to feel wounded. And I don't think any of us want to feel vulnerable to attack, if you will. And so we want to move beyond that. And so I say, vulnerable, not me, I'm not going there. Because that doesn't feel good. What if we rethink about it a little bit? What is vulnerability really when we talk about individuals and relationships and ourselves? What are we thinking of when we say vulnerable? Openness, We're thinking about being seen, being seen. So, if you walk up to me and say, I am called to be the next Martin Luther King, and I could say, oh, you're nuts. That's not, no, you're not you. I am here to create the next biggest business in the world. And I'd say, well, you don't know how to do that. That's being vulnerable, speaking out even things that are what we want to be about, even things that are positive. We so often associate it with having to share our deepest, darkest missteps, if you will. But when we think about it, if we cannot be vulnerable, we cut off a huge amount of who we are. And we cut it off from both ends. It's kind of like those medications you take to help you be more stable. Take off the highs, take off the lows. It's that kind of a thing, you know? So what do we do as humans? Well, we figure out how to create some kind of barrier. We want to put up a shield between us and whatever that stuff is inside of us that we aren't sure people will accept the way we need them to accept it. We put up something, and we put up something that we think is unbreakable, right? We make it hard. Sometimes we get very rigid in what we are willing to speak about or to share with other people. How well does that work? How well does that work? Well, I think that often we end up with a container holding us in that works for a while until it breaks, until it bursts, and it all falls apart. Everything we've been trying to hold in escapes. All of the feelings we were afraid of coming at us are now possible, and there we are. What if we put our feelings and our life in something that could adapt to different relationships that we're in? What if it was in something that could allow us to be very open and honest in certain places, and maybe other places not quite as much, but always having it in something that's not so rigid. So I'll tell you, I found this woman's statement, C. Joybell C. It's the hard things that break. Soft things don't break. It was an epiphany, and I just wonder why it took me so long to see that you can waste so many years of your life trying to be hard. And it's in the soft things that we're actually protected from breakage. The hard things are the one that shatter into a million pieces. So being vulnerable opens us up to something that we're afraid of. And why? Because we think something's going to come at us. And so we create something to protect ourselves, and then eventually it's possible that that can break, and now we're left with literally nothing at that point. But when we hold our vulnerability in a Ziploc bag, you know, you can move it around if you need to. and you can open up. And the thing is that opening up takes away all the energy that we've invested in trying to hold that barrier. And the reality is, we find out that it's only love. And so if the biggest thing that I'm afraid of, and I'm guessing it's true for many of us, is that I don't know that I can love that part of me. I don't know that I can be open in a relationship with someone with some of what goes on in my life because I don't really like it. And so the thing with vulnerability is standing in a space of loving ourselves and holding ourselves softly, holding ourselves tenderly, and knowing that we are okay. We are okay. The truth is, belonging starts with self-acceptance. Your level of belonging, in fact, can never be greater than your level of self-acceptance, because believing that you're enough is what gives you the courage to be authentic, vulnerable, and imperfect. When we don't have that, we shapeshift and turn into chameleons. We hustle for the worthiness we already possess. That's Brene Brown's words. And I think they're Nancy's words from earlier. It's what we already possess. We want to belong. We want to be accepted. We want to be a part of things. And until we can do that for ourselves, we can't open up to the space to allow others to do it for us as well, to do it with us. And what can be wrong if we are whole, perfect, and complete? If we subscribe to that reality, what is it that could change that? For me, the only thing that can really change it is my brain. I think there's something that is in the way of that. I decide that something is there. And what happens is we begin to create relationships that are much more on the surface. And we don't get to the real stuff. We don't get to the real stuff, we don't get to real belonging. We don't get to real community. We don't get to a real relationship. And we do it in all different levels of relationships in our life. So I'm going to quote Brene Brown one more time. She says, first of all, vulnerability is not weakness. Oh, now that's a kicker, isn't it? Vulnerability is our most accurate way to measure courage. And we literally do that as researchers. Vulnerability allows them to assess fearlessness. We can measure how brave you are by how vulnerable you're willing to be. What does she mean by that? What is bravery? The willingness to simply be who you are, without needing for it to conform to some other thing that you're trying to impress. Because at the core, we are all exactly who we need to be. And if we can embrace that person who we are, then wow, what an opportunity. What if we could meet each other in a space of self-love? In a space where I love myself enough that I can open myself and allow you to love yourself just as much. Okay. It sounds good. It sounds great. And like many things, it's relatively simple. But it's not always easy, is it? It's not always easy. And it's not always easy, I think, because we have so much that has been inbred in us, that we've learned from our experience, we've learned from our parents, we've learned from whatever, that we've learned from our jobs. You know, you can't just really show up as who you are because somebody's going to use that to get at you. If I really reveal myself to my partner, they might leave. So how simple, how easy is it to really show up? And I think the key is in self-love and courage. To know that whatever happens, it doesn't change who you are. Whatever happens out here doesn't change who you are. It's only in here. And the more I can be in integrity in here, the more joyful, the more able I am to move in the world, the more things I can accomplish, because I can stand up here and I can tell you all of this stuff and I don't have to care what you think about it. Now that sounds a little crass in a way, but that's really what it comes down to. I don't have to be worried about what everybody's opinion is. What I have to be worried about is this integrity with my values, with who I know I am? And I believe ultimately that then serves others to take that step into that same space, because we have given them the gift of permission to be honest with themselves. And sometimes that vulnerability thing is showing up with some sense of weakness we feel in our lives. We're sharing something that feels, it's hard to share. But having the courage to do that brings it to a place where you can actually figure out where the truth lies underneath it. If we keep it locked up behind the barriers, we never find the truth. It just is there. But if we can share it, if we can bring it forth, if we can acknowledge it, it changes everything. So, as Jamie Lula said, I'm better today than I was yesterday. Why am I better? Because I honestly look at things. Am I perfect? Well, in a technical sense, I'm whole, perfect, and complete. But in an outward expression sense, that doesn't always come out perfectly. Doesn't always show up that way on the surface. However, what makes it possible for me to move toward that perfection, if you will, toward expressing that full perfection that's in me, is acknowledging when, oh, that wasn't what I expected. That wasn't what I wanted. That wasn't the outcome I was hoping for. What can I do differently? Who can I be? How should I be showing up for myself or for others? That's where the shift comes. And I can stand up and say, I'm better today than I was yesterday. And I think the next line about sticking around is really true. Because sometimes I've been in a position where I didn't really want to. It's just too much. You know, I thought I couldn't do it. I thought I didn't have the energy. I thought I wasn't worth it. And so when we run against those feelings, we sometimes literally have to just stick around, just stay in it, and be vulnerable enough to acknowledge to ourselves, this feels cruddy, but I'm here, and I'm going to stay with that. Because I know the truth is underneath that, and that is truly, that perfection is there, and it's going to show up. Sometime or another, it's going to reveal itself. Health is always ready to reveal itself. Our perfection is always ready to reveal itself. So, when we're feeling vulnerable, a gift worth sticking with. That each of us can see the perfection both in ourselves and in others, regardless of what the appearance is. I'm going to stand in that same truth for our world. For those places where people are fighting, and know that somewhere under that is a perfection that needs to come forth. And that those who are asking for peace, those that are moving towards peace, are stepping into a place of vulnerability and appearance of being weak, and yet standing in their truth. And we see that not only in places of war, we see that in places of racism and sexism and anything else ism. And those that call for a change are standing in a place of speaking truth, seeing the reality, seeing the perfection that's possible, and inviting others into that same space. So with that, I just acknowledge the love in the room. I acknowledge the love online. I acknowledge the love of the entire vastness of the universe. We accept that love. We hold it. We cherish it. We know that it is truly ours. And we are able to give it away and share it wherever we want, whenever we want. So we just set our intention to be that space of love wherever we are. Even when it feels a little uncomfortable, even when it feels like maybe it won't be accepted the way we want, we do it because we know it's in integrity with who we are and with the Spirit revealing itself as us. So with that, I just bless each one of us. I bless the world. I bless the life that is everywhere present, and give thanks for it. And release this word knowing that it is done. And so it is. So I am going to invite us now to take a moment, and even as we all share with one another with our talents and our time, we take a moment to share our gifts. Many of us share online. I believe there's a slide today which has a new, or it may or may not be there. I don't know. Is it? You don't know. Okay. But we do have a QR code coming up that's available for people at home or people here to be able to go directly to our sharing site. There's also the text information going across the bottom. And there's always the opportunity to simply come forward and release your gift right here. So, with that, I would like to just take a moment. If you have a gift or just think about your gift, just hold it over your heart. I give from my prosperity. I just made that up. I am abundance. And I give from that abundance. I am prosperous, and I give from my prosperity. I am blessed, and I give from my blessings. My blessings of spirit are as abundant as the stars. So I give and receive generously. And so it is. Amen. Take it away.
Take it away. I just want to show you this beautiful little box. It was actually a gift to me when I left a job at the CSL in Denver. And this little box sits back on that table. And if you have a musical request for me, a song you would like to hear, please put it in here. And I'm saying that because the song I'm getting ready to do right now was in this box. So this song is called I Stand for Love. It was written by David Roth and Annie Hills. And so don't forget this guy is back there, okay? I stand for love. I stand for peace. I stand for joy and for release. For what is beautiful and true. I stand for hope. I stand for you. I stand for love. I stand for peace. I stand for joy and for release. For what is beautiful and true. I is in great pain. She needs our loving care again. But there are those who fail to see what we have done and what we need. There is a cost for every act, and now there is no turning back. We burn a bridge, we bang the drum. It's time to rise, the time has come to stand for peace, to stand for love, to stand for joy and for release, for what is beautiful and true, to stand for hope, to stand for you. If you're thinking it's not urgent, that we've got more time to kill, if I'm not the one who'll change things, then for heaven's sake, who will? So I will move, and I will climb that mountain one step at a time. I won't be swayed, I will not stop until we've made it to the top, where we'll stand for love, we'll stand for peace, we will stand for joy and for release, for what is beautiful and true. We'll stand for hope, we'll stand for you, for what is beautiful and true. I stand for hope, I stand for you. Thank you. Beautiful song. Thank you to whomever put that in the box. Appreciate that.
So standing for love, standing for gratitude, we just take a moment and give thanks for all that has been given in the name of Rio Grande, in the name of Spirit, in the name of simply love. All of the time and the talent and the gifts, we give thanks. And so it is. I would like to take a moment and acknowledge that my sister Courtney has come to be with us this week. And her other son, my other godson, Robert, will be here tonight. And so Gio and I are trying to figure out how to, put them in a tent in the backyard or something. They're taking up a lot of space, but we're doing good. So I would invite you to come forward. And this is a moment here. Give us 1 second. I just do that. Just go ahead and do this part.
Right there.
And then you don't have to repeat because it's a repeat.
Okay, I'll try to
Okay.
not be flexible.
She says she's not flexible. Do you believe that? I don't think that's
I
true.
really try. Okay, starting right over here. All
Yeah, right there.
Right here, okay.
You know that our practitioners are here to give you prayer treatments after the service. After the service, can you hear that? Yes. Don't put it, I'll shout if you can hear. Our practitioners are here to give us prayer treatments after the service. If people had strolls, I had the strolls on Sunday, you knew that. So I will give you a prayer treatment after service over here in the garden. And then leave your prayer request also in the back in that little chest. And we pray for them because just we seem like they will pray for them during the whole week. So it's really a good opportunity. We get up really impressed. It's faithful, and it can be a prayer for something joyful as well as something that is challenging. This isn't here, but since I'm up here and I have the opportunity, I am, as you may know, giving a workshop, facilitating a workshop on aging, ageism, and exuberant aging. And the next one is in April, I think, 15th, on a Saturday.
Saturday, I believe the 15th or the 18th. I'm sorry, I don't know that. Norm is going to talk to us about dementia and hearing loss and dementia, which is really an important thing. And then I'm going to talk about deep listening and just not talk about it. You guys are going to do it. And I'm thinking people say, oh, well, I know how to listen. Well, I challenge you to that. And I think you can all learn how to listen. We can all learn how to listen better. So we're having a good time at those workshops. So if you have signed up, welcome, come again. We'll see you soon. And if you haven't signed up, you can sign up on Breeze. You can sign up for one or the last two, because there are two more that are coming. And I guarantee it'll be worthwhile for you. Thank you so much for being here today. It's been just a joy to celebrate with you. And now we have Dr. Norm Dawson, who's going to talk about the announcements. And then we'll have benediction and closing after Norm. There you are.
Thank you, Marilyn. Thank you, Reverend Gill. I appreciate the thought and the theme on vulnerability. It reminds me of a little story. I'll just take a moment here about the importance of that and where I'm at right now. I was an actor at the Albuquerque Little Theater a few years ago, live theater. That's a challenge for sure. And I was doing the part of Mr. Macy in the Miracle on 34th Street. And the way I was reading my lines was, I was in my head about my lines. And one of my lines, I don't remember the exact line, but it was, just imagine, Macy's is going to be opening its 534th store in whatever. And the director said, Norm, you have got to say something from yourself about that. He didn't use the word vulnerability, but it was something along that line. He said, you've got to put yourself out there. Okay, so the next rehearsal came up, and I get up there and I go, okay, I'm just going to let it out. I don't care what it sounds like, just going to let it out. So I can see it in the headlines. Mr. Macy's opens its 534th store. And he says, Norm, that was 100% change in who you are and what you did. And from there on out, whenever I had a chance to act and come up and do announcements, that's why I do my signature line. Because I don't care. I'm just being vulnerable. So the courage to do that was really nice to have him share that with me. So anyway, thank you for the vulnerability. And Susan and your percussionist, wherever he is, great music. So thank you very much. There he is. Okay, a real quick note from the bookstore. Speaking of vulnerability, the Science Mind magazine is vulnerability. So be sure you pick up a copy of it if you want to know about vulnerability. And then I've got some notes here. This is going to be real short. I don't have a lot of announcements. Oh, yeah, I just wanted to add one more thing that Marilyn said about the workshop she's doing on April 15th. April 15th. She's going to be talking about listening. And where we get listening from? What organ in our body we use for listening? Our ears. Now, I'm going to be talking about hearing. You know what organ we use for hearing? Our brain. And I'm going to be sharing with you how we can lose some of your cognition and your function of your brain and what that has to do with dementia and how to restore that. So be sure you come by and check that out. Okay, Compassion Ministries has a nice little article in the newsletter about vulnerability. Seems to be the theme today. And you can go in there. There's a nice link in there about all kinds of aspects of vulnerability, so you can really study up and follow up with what Reverend Gill was talking about here. And The recurring events, I'm only going to do those once a month on the first Sunday of the month, so here they are. The third Tuesday of the month from 5:30 to 7 on Zoom, the Board of Trustees meeting, and that's open to anybody, so that's on Zoom. The Thursday is A Course in Miracles with Nancy Bowers. It's in person and Zoom, and you don't have to have any prior experience to attend this. That's from 6 to 7:30 on in person and Zoom. Fridays from 11:30 to 12:30 will be on Zoom. Will be a spiritual discussion group with Alicia Hanlon. And this study group is steeped in the science of mind philosophy, studying the works of Ernest Holmes and other notable metaphysical leaders. Saturdays from 8:30 to 10 in person and on Zoom. Food Addicts in Recovery Anonymous offers hope through a long-term solution for food addiction. The next step is to attend a food addiction meeting. And the second Saturdays from 9 to 11 in person and on Zoom. The practitioner potluck. I don't know how you do potluck on Zoom, but anyway, that's what they're doing. It's held in the social hall and on Zoom. And you can join the Zoom meeting at the RGCSL practitioner meeting. And the second and fourth Sunday of each month at 11:30 in person, Creative Expression in Writing group. They meet in that room right over there. And it's available as a drop-in basis. Just come and go as you need to, and everybody's welcome. And lastly, I want to mention that we have one more thing here. I got this, they say, carry a big stick. Well, that's not a big stick, but I've got to open this up, so put this down for me.
You need help?
Yeah. So what we're looking for team members to assist with the kitchen angels in the back there. And there's a sign-up sheet right here. So we need help with week 3 and 4. Right now we've got Barb and I and Hannah and Nadine, where she is. Anyway, week 1, and we've got Mike Hacker and Sherry and Cheryl Ray. On week 2, week 3, we've got Carol Ann Armijo. And we need a couple of more people to help out there. And then on week 4, we also have Mark, and we need a couple people to help there. So contact Reverend Gill and use this sheet here to sign up after the service. Thank you. So it's really good to have. Did you want to add something else to that?
Just want to make sure. We got to announce Ricky.
Oh, yes, I do that too, yeah. Okay.
Huh? You got that?
I thought you were going to do it, so I didn't. But
No, I can do it. I can do it. Give me that mic.
Okay,
Give me that. Just give me that mic. You can hold the mic.
He's
I
going
have
to take
one on.
over here. I'll be right back.
Yeah, you just stay right there. Don't go anywhere. Hello. Let me see. What do I need this? Okay, there we go. No, I don't. I'm good. Okay. All right. So we should have a slide. Do we have a slide? Do we have any slides, people, back there for Ricky? For Ricky? No, maybe not. Okay, it's all right. Slide or no slide, doesn't matter. Ricky Byers, who you may know, is coming and in concert on April 29th. That is a Saturday from 4 to 6. And then she and a friend of hers, Quinn, they are doing a workshop on Sunday from 1 to 3. Now, all this information is available online and in our newsletter. The key is we need you to sign up, and we need you to get tickets so we make sure we have room for you, because it's going to be very popular. And we want to make sure that you let other people know. Share the brochure, share the flyer rather that's in the newsletter. Let people know. There's a QR code on there. You don't have to know anything. You just click it, and boom, you go to the sign-up sheet, and you can buy your tickets. If you buy blocks of 4, you get an extra break. So there's a couple ways to buy them, and they're all in there. And so I'm inviting you to please be a part of that.
Reverend Gill, who is Ricky Byers?
Oh, that's a good question. So what happens is there's an assumption made. So Ricky Byers is a New Thought musician. She has been around for several years. She was the main music at Agape for a number of years, Agape in Southern California. She's very tolerant because she let me in the choir. And she's a lot of fun. And she's really wanting, she has people in Albuquerque that are excited to have her come outside of this room. And she's very excited about supporting our center and helping make it a great success. So I'm excited to have her come. I'm excited that we will be doing this. And I really want people to get excited about it. Is anybody excited? Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, today's the first Sunday. Oh, you're right. We forgot birthdays. Where'd the
Okay, one more
birthdays?
thing on Ricky and
Quinn?
company. It's going to be Saturday from 4 to 6 will be the workshop.
No, that'll be the concert.
Okay, the concert, yeah, the concert is 4 to 6 on Saturday, and then Ricky and Quinn sing, play, shop Sunday from 1 to 3. Okay.
There it is.
Let's do the happy birthday thing. So,
All
somebody-
right. So, who has a birthday in April? Gee, is that why you remembered this? You do. Yeah. There's one there. Okay, I'm going to invite our birthday people to come on up. Come on up. All right. So, before we sing them happy birthday, we're going to put them on the spot for just a moment. All right, here we go. So, what are you claiming this year?
Abundance.
Abundance.
I'll go along with that. Abundance.
Okay, flow and abundance. All right, let's wish them a happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
Brian and Courtney, yay! You have. Oh, okay.
Okay, thanks for all the help. That's great.
Yeah, all the help.
Okay, last week I had the exit to pick up Barbara from the airport, so I couldn't stick around and find out what wonderful food. But I'll tell you what the food is today. And remember, join us back there in the back for food and conversation and get together and know people. And you don't have to bring food to be back there, but if you do have your favorite recipes, we always welcome good food. So today I know we've got spaghetti squash and the sauce to go on that with meatballs and without meatballs. We've got a bean stew with some meat in it, and we've got some macaroni. No, the bean stew has no meat. And we have some macaroni with some meat in it. And we've got some Rice Krispie bars and some cheesecake. So come on back, and we've got coffee too. So be sure you come on back and join us in salad. Yes. All right. I'm getting all kinds of help today. Woo. Some days are good. Other days are even better. And indeed, you came back. Okay, so next is going to be the benediction. So that's it from me. Live from New Mexico, Sunday morning announcements.
Thank you so much, Norm. So I take this moment to breathe into the gratitude that is everywhere present, knowing that that is the fuel that helps me to remember the truth that God is everywhere present and that love is everywhere present, and that the truth of who and what we are is that divine love expressing. And so I'm so grateful for the message from Reverend Gill that reminds us that here in this space, we are safe to express that truth, to allow our vulnerability to shine, knowing that it's really that vulnerability that gives us the strength to bend when we need to and never break. For the truth is inside of us, around us, in one another, and perfect just as it is. So knowing that our time together is blessed and that we are loved and protected and supported, I affirm that this time is over for now and continuing in the social hall. And that in that time together, we recognize one another. We remember that it's all love and it's all good. And I affirm that by saying, and so it is. Amen. Thank you.
Okay, I want you all to stand up again, if you would, for our closing song. And somebody say a prayer that my pick is somewhere. Well, that's not my pick, but that'll work. I knew I'd been saving this for a reason. It doesn't belong to me, but anyway, today I need it. I just want to add a quick announcement. After you've eaten macaroni and meatless stew and all the stuff back there, we're going to have our last choir rehearsal around noon, and we will be performing for you next Sunday. The choir will be performing, so please don't forget that. Mark your calendars. Yeah, look at that. Another Jamie Lula. Just a little intro, and here we go right now. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the love that we seek. We are the seeds we are sowing. We are the harvest we reap. Same thing. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the love that we seek. We are the seeds we are sowing. We are the harvest we reap. Waiting for. We are the love that we seek. We are the seeds we are sowing. We are the harvest we reap. I am that I am. I am that I am. Do that part again. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the love that we seek. We are the seeds we are sowing. We are the harvest we reap. Tag it. We are the harvest we reap. One more time. We are the harvest we reap. Happy Sunday. Thank you.